My video for December 17th, 2017 is entitled, Rendering Cabal Weapons Useless. I've been told that ETs not only have the capability of rendering the weapons of war created by the Cabal useless, they also have been given permission to follow through and do exactly that. Now, do I believe that is true? I do think that whatever God is, he, she, it has the ability to do anything. The question, of course, comes down to this. Is God finally willing to right the wrongs and undo the crimes against humanity by the so-called Cabal? If so, then we have hope. If not, evil will triumph. Anyone who thinks otherwise, as I see it, is not being honest with themselves. As I've declared many times, I have felt it was part of my mission since childhood to help bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. I do not buy the escape plan of some rapture, nor the idea that earth is perfect just as it is. To me, that's insane. I know we have a long way to go to be healed enough to actually work together toward that goal. Many miracles are required. I'd like to witness that amazing grace. How about you? It's interesting. I wrote that blurb last night, but when I woke up this morning after about 5 hours of sleep, I had totally forgotten it, and in my meditation contemplation, I had developed a whole different thing for my video today, and a whole different idea. And yet, as I come to the computer and I see what I wrote yesterday, I thought, well, they sort of fit together, because as long as the Cabal weapons, which what are the real Cabal weapons? When I wrote that, I was thinking weapons of warfare, physical weapons. But the true weapon of the Cabal is lies. The Cabal thrives on being liars. In fact, lawyers and liars, to me, are synonymous terms, because the legal profession in our world, the UCC1 thing, is built on a system of fraud to defraud every human being of our natural God-given rights by giving us a name. That's the real weapon. We are given a name, but we are not the name. And when asked in courts, are you Ron Van Dyke? And if you say yes, you have just given them jurisdiction over you to commit fraud against you. Again, fraudulent creations of the Cabal have no natural rights. They have no lawful rights because they are not considered human. It's as simple as that. They are not considered by the system to be worthy of anything but death. That's the way it's been imposed upon us. And the evil one, the devil, the Luciferians, whatever you want to call those that are workers of iniquity, whatever you want to call them, they have robbed every one of us as human beings of that which is ours by the act of God creating. And I used to say that the acronym for God is a grantor of desire. Well, anyone who grants something has authority over them. And God, to me, the true creator anyway, doesn't exercise authority over me, but wants me to be able to come to the place where I can be in charge of my own life, my own expression, and not be bound by the codes and criminal activities of some demonic entity or entities, be it the devil or whatever. There's so much deception in our world, so much disinformation, misinformation, misapplication of truth. You know, it's very, very difficult for any of us to actually find remedies and be able to use them in the system to liberate ourselves, to actually free ourselves from the control grid that the system imposes upon us. And of course, money, as I've said, is one of the main ingredients in that control grid. As long as we use money, we're going to be able to be controlled to the extent that we're placing our value not in who we are, but in something we have. And that's, again, that's not where the actual truth lies. The actual truth lies in what we are, not what we have, even if we have gold-backed currency, even if we have the ability through some artificial creation of wealth or focus on something that anything that is external to us. We have deprived ourselves and been deprived of actually fulfilling our destiny to become the best we can be, to become fully free and fully human. Human is the you, and I mean, a you are colors. Human doesn't mean white or black or red or yellow or brown or whatever colors you want to come up with. That's not what human is. Human is all of that, and yet it's not that either. It's beyond that. We are spirits having a physical experience, but the physical experience is something that has been created as a blessing and turned into a curse. That is something, I mean, I wish I could convey in a short narrative like I do every day. I wish I could convey to everyone the idea that we don't have to be enslaved. And yet I listen to people again and again give their stories, and I've been part of it myself, where we go up against the system and we get entrapped by the deception that we are somehow a name. Are you Ron Van Dyke? If you say yes, you've just entrapped yourself, and it doesn't matter how many UCC ones you've filled out and how much you've tried to claim your independence from the system. You have been entrapped by it. This is the real weapon of the Cabal. Now, when I was writing that blurb, of course, I was thinking of the weapons of war, that the police are now armed like soldiers in the United States, and I'm sure in most other parts of the world. Why? They are using extreme weapons to force us into their miscreated structure. That's, when I say miscreated, it's created not to free us, but to bind us, to keep us enslaved. And folks, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of being enslaved. I'm tired of being told that I can't travel freely, that I have to have some sort of a license or permission from the state to do what I was created to be able to do, and that is to travel freely at will, where I want to go, not where somebody else wants to take me. I hope these things trigger something in you that makes you want to dig deeper and find out more. I'm not going to talk long about these things because I've already done that. Pay attention, listen, learn, and ultimately, I hope that we can all be free of the weapons and the deception. Thank you for listening. Namaste.